folks, it's MiaMor, and today I want to talk about recruiters, okay? I've been doing my Skype chats, which are still available for people, but a lot of the questions have to do with recruiters and what to look for. So while I probably won't be able to cover everything in this video, I do want to speak about it a little bit because I've had experience with 2 recruiters so far for my time teaching and living in Korea. So I just felt like there were some basic tips, information, advice, you know, those types of things that I could provide for people. So I just wanted to take the time and make this for you guys, hoping that it will help someone. The first thing is there are plenty of recruiters, not just for Korea, but for around the world, okay? The #1 site that I've heard about and have used is Dave's ESL Cafe. So you can find recruiter information, program information, you can post resumes. I mean, you can do a lot on Dave's ESL, okay? But that's mainly the place, the #1 place where people find recruiters and where recruiters find people. If you find a recruiter on the site or hear about a recruiter, please research. Don't take what they post for face value. Go on Google, go on Bing, go on whatever search engine is popular in your country and just type their name in. It takes 2 seconds and just see what comes up. You might find that the recruiter or whatever institution they're representing is on a blacklist. You may find a post about them on a blog. This information is invaluable, okay? It is so important for you to know as much as you can about the reputation of who you're working with and the reputation of possibly the institution you will be working for. Okay, so #1 is research it. 2 is simply go with your gut. I know a lot of us, and I know how I felt when I was ready to come to Korea. I was like, I'm ready to go. I don't care. I got to get out of here. But we choose to overlook telltale signs on purpose just because our desire is that big. But if you're working with a recruiter and they're saying things to you, or they're not getting back to you, or you're asking questions and you don't hear from them for like more than a week at a time, that's not a good sign, okay? And if you just feel like I'm not 100% comfortable with this situation, just follow your gut. I mean, usually it will not steer you wrong. That is my best advice. And I know it's not advice that everybody always wants to hear, but at the end of the day, I can't make decisions for you and no one else can. Only you can do that. So go with your gut, please, okay? Now this is one from my experience, my first year experience. When I first was applying to Epic, I went through Corvia, okay? There we go, I went through Corvia, and at the time there was a young lady working there by the English name of Riley, okay? I absolutely loved Riley. I probably think my experience in my first year through my recruiter, everything was so great because of her. And one of the reasons that I will probably always remember is that she offered to Skype with me about 15 minutes before my actual Epic interview. Now everybody who knows, who has an Epic interview, interview with Epic, Gepic, or Smo, whoever, Jet in Japan, wherever it is, okay? If you have an interview, you're nervous. You're like, okay, what is about to happen? This is a whole different country. The rules are different. Do I look okay? Do I speak clearly enough? You know, you have these anxieties. She wanted to Skype with me just to make sure that my computer was working, that she could hear me, that everything was the part, you know, like how I looked aesthetically. And I didn't take anything by it because it's an interview. You should present your best self. But just the fact that she offered, and I'm not sure if it's a Corvia policy, but just the fact that she offered made me feel a whole lot more confident in her level of investment in my success. And that was really a very big and memorable aspect of working with a recruiter. So I feel like your recruiter should make you feel like they're really invested in your success and you're not just another number head that once you get placed, they're getting a check. Because a lot of these recruiters are. I don't care if they're nice. I don't care if they can speak English really well. Okay. Like, what is that? How does that work for you when you have to teach and live somewhere where the hot water doesn't work, you're not getting paid on time, and the hotline closes and you have no notification and you have to get back on a plane? I don't understand how being nice and speaking English well has anything to do with any of those realities. This is a quick one. You need to be certain this is what you want to do before you even turn in paperwork. The paperwork process is long, it's tedious, and it's not fair to waste your time or anyone else's time. You know, just make sure this is something that you want to do. Ask as many questions as you need to ask. That's why you're using a recruiter. They are the buffer. If you feel like they're getting irritated by your questions, it's time to move on. That is their job. That they're there to answer all questions that you have. If they don't have answers for them, they should say, okay, let me look into it. I will let you know. Can I let you know? And send you an email. It really is a buddy system of helping to place you, because at the end of the day, everyone wants the gold prize. The gold prize for you is solidifying a job, signing a contract, getting a visa, and flying over here. Gold medal for them is placing someone at a location so they can get a check. You know, everybody gets the gold prize and everybody wants the gold prize, but it takes time and it takes dedication and it takes teamwork in order for everyone to win. So I just feel like a recruiter is supposed to be there as your buffer, as your support, and to make you feel comfortable, because this is a very, like I said, tedious process. It can be a very frightening process. You're going to a brand new place you've never been before. You may know something about it, but you know nothing about it if you've never lived there. Okay, because it's the difference between reading about something and hearing about something and actually being there. So you know, those, just pay attention to the styles of recruiters can be very different. There are some recruiters that are more strict. They go by the book. There is no bending. There is no possibility of getting stuff later, extending dates, working stuff out. No, they are like, I need this now. This is the deadline. This is when you need to do this by, and that's it. If you can't do it, sorry, we can't help you. Some recruiters are willing to work with you. You just have to contact them, talk to them, and work it out. I mean, that's just a part of the process of finding a good fit for you as a prospective teacher. This is one of my Skype chats. I won't name any names. I won't say, you know, anything to put this person on blast, basically. But basically, I was told that the recruiter, who was Korean, she lived in Canada, she asked the prospective person, would they mind dyeing their hair blonde and wearing blue contacts while working in Korea for the interview and after they got over here. This person was of no descent that would look like they were born with blonde hair and blue eyes. If it were me in that situation, I would have to kindly say, you know what? Thank you for all your time. Thank you for all your hard work, but this is not going to work for me. And there are instances, many like this, that take place, and a lot of people overlook them. Some people it doesn't affect as much as others. But if something like this happens to you with your recruiter and you feel the slightest of disrespect, or you feel uncomfortable on any level and it makes you question and you're thinking about this days after this has happened, this is not a good fit for you. I'm just gonna say it. There's no, me personally, and my personal beliefs, I don't feel like that was appropriate on any level. And I don't feel like you should get a gold medal at the end of any process, and definitely not mine. So I just wanted to give that example because there are some cases where people get bold and they will say exactly what they're thinking, regardless of how crazy it is. And that is also a time when you have to make a decision if this is the right fit for you. So the question of using more than one recruiter at one time comes up all the time. It came up when I applied. I knew somebody who did it, okay? They absolutely do not want you to do that, okay? They don't want you double dipping. They don't, just one recruiter, one program, that's it. However, that is a decision that you have to make on your own. And I would say, please don't use more than one recruiter for the same program. If you are to use more than one recruiter, and I'm not promoting this, so if anybody sees this who is a part of a program, I cannot be responsible. I'm not promoting this, okay? I'm just giving common sense knowledge on a topic, okay? So do not hold me accountable if you get a bunch of people with multiple applications. But if I have to get out of my common situation and I have to make it to Korea, I would use more than one source to get to my end goal. And that's all I'm going to say. But like I said, using 2-3 recruiters all for Epic is a telltale sign that you are going nowhere. You are definitely not making it to Korea, because that is a #1 rule. Do not apply directly and use a recruiter and use another recruiter. Don't use competing streams of applying to the same program. Please don't do it. If you're gonna do it, try for Hagwon at the same time as Epic. That's something totally different. They're not related, and you know, of course, the benefits and the reputation are very different. But you know, just use your common sense, guys. Just let's use it. Let's put thinking caps on and work it out. And so for my personal experience, I will share who I worked with. The first recruiter I worked with, like I said, was Corvia. My specific recruiter was Riley. She no longer works there, but she was the absolute most amazing recruiter I could ever have for a first-time applicant to the Epic program in Korea. Recruiter, which was a very unique case because I had to come here in October instead of the usual August, but I still required it to be Epic. So I had to find a position that was available for October through Epic, which is not usual, and some recruiters will be like, no, I can't even do that. My second recruiter, his name was John Kim. He worked with Oxford English, and his email, I don't know if he's still doing it, maybe he's not, maybe he is eslsoul@hotmail.com. Oh, it's Oxford Education, sorry, not Oxford English. Oxford Education, eslsoul@hotmail.com. And I wrote down the date. I started correspondence with John from July the 12th of 2013. And I ended my correspondence with John October 7th, 2013. And that was the actual email that I sent him the morning of when I was going to the Office of Education in Jeollabuk-do. Oh, it was constant communication. I remember it was after my phone interview with the Office of Education for the position, and I remember that same night I went home. I was in the bed, okay? It was like 10:30, 11 o'clock p.m. And John is calling me on the phone, excited. First of all, John, why are you still working? Second of all, John was like, can I speak to Mia? And I said, oh, this is her. He said, Mia, I have good news. You were accepted. Da, 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 da. And John is on my phone at 11 p.m. hype, okay? So I said, oh, that's great. That's great. So he's like, okay. So I just wanted to let you know, I'll call you back tomorrow. And that was it. So, John, I really enjoyed John because my paperwork, that was another thing. I applied for my paperwork while living in Korea. So that's a whole nother video in itself. Those were my 2 recruiter experiences. The first one I found through just online research with blogs. And John with Oxford Education, I found him on Dave's ESL Cafe. So this was my video. I just wanted to share some tips and some insight about this whole recruiter process, how it flows, how it should go, and overall, follow your gut. If this is really where you want to be, it will fall into place. Don't force it. And make sure things are done correctly and that you're comfortable, because you don't want any type of wrong negative energy surrounding any of this process, okay? Even if you're not into the whole energy thing, I'm telling you, you just don't want it, okay? You just want to be easy breezy going into this situation, happy, ecstatic, worrying about packing, worrying about, what am I gonna do? I can't believe I'm doing this. That's what you want to worry about. You don't want to have to worry about, my recruiter is making me feel crazy and they're asking me to put on wigs. You don't want it, okay? So, like I said, this was just my quick video. It's probably not really quick by this point, but I hope that it helps someone along the way. Again, Skype chats are available. I am on Korea time, so email me if you would like to schedule one. And I will see you guys later. Okay, bye.